Welcome back to First Talk, where we simplify your super. Today I'm joined by Peter and Jason, and what we're going to be talking about, whether you're young or old, is retirement and how do you want to really enjoy those years. So Peter, what would you say to Jason, being the younger member? Don't lecture him, but give him a few words of wisdom about why it is that you should be thinking
I'll
about
leave the
retirement.
lecturing to Jason, to you, Andy. But look, Jason's going to be lucky where he's going to have, well, you'll be working for another 40 years, so you're lucky in that respect.
Yeah, very lucky.
You'll have the full benefit of the super guarantee over all those years. You and I, we haven't had the fortunate space where we've had to enjoy the full 12%, which is what it's going to grow to over our working lives. He's got many years of working life to look forward to.
So how do you enjoy that lecture?
yeah, good. I can't wait for another one off camera. It gets a bit more intense.
But do you get these questions from your parents or from anybody else? And as a young person, how do you respond to it?
Yeah, I mean, look at you always get advice from those older, and don't make the mistakes that I've made is more the case.
Older and wiser, Jason.
Yes,
is what you're
the
trying
older
to
and
say.
wiser. When the grey starts coming through the beard, like you there, Peter. And it's don't make the mistakes that I made. So make a plan early and start to work towards that plan. Set the goals early, because if you leave it too late, that's when you can really do yourself a bit of detriment.
So I talk to a lot of younger members as well, and one of the things that I say to them, because they're going, it's so far off, why am I want to be thinking about this? I go, look at your parents if they're retired, or your grandparents, and what they did in their retirement years. Is that what you want to do, or do you want to do something different?
So, but to Peter's point, I mean, for a younger member, like you said, they're going to have the benefit of throughout their working life, they're going to get super. So do they need to then make extra contributions or look to get in their super, because they're going to be looked after anyway just through those employer contributions?
Well, there's two types, isn't it? We use what we call the ASFA retirement standards. So we talk to our members about that. In simple terms?
It's a government agency called ASFA. ASFA tell people what it's like to have a comfortable lifestyle in retirement or a modest lifestyle. Not everyone's going to be able to afford a comfortable lifestyle like yourself, Andy. A lot of people that we talk to, like to travel interstate or travel locally. They don't spend a lot of money. They're homebodies. You use the term active lifestyle. What do you mean by an active lifestyle?
These people really want to go travelling. So whether it's around Australia or overseas, they're very social. They like going out to restaurants with their families and their friends. And if they're going to the restaurants, they're going to buy that more expensive bottle of wine. They want to enjoy their retirement years. So it could be for a short period, a longer period, but that is what they want to do. And then on the other end, you've got modest lifestyle, where, as you said before, homebodies. I just call these people those that just enjoy their home, their gardens, and they just love having their family around them. The family's a real key.
But not everyone falls into, I guess, those specific buckets. And we get a lot of members that say, I don't mind staying at home, but I like going out for dinner as well. That is my vice, or that is my thing that I spend the money on. So a lot of them sort of come in between.
And they do. So, I mean, when we use the ASFA retirement standards, there's some money that we say this is what you should look for at the income. But I always explain to our members that's the parameters in which you're working for. I mean, you talk to a lot of members in the regional areas. And
it's a guide. So they say for a couple, comfortable lifestyle is about $60,000 a year, and what they call a modest lifestyle or that homebody lifestyle is about $40,000. Most people are somewhere in between or are different. What's comfortable for you, Andy, might be modest for Jason, and vice versa. It comes back to how much you're spending.
And that's the point. It's you go to Traralgon a lot, and what I always find amazing driving into that town is the caravan sail yard on the edge of the town. It's so big.
It's always busy too, Andy.
But that's what the members out there enjoy, isn't it? So what is it that they look for in their retirement years?
Yeah, so for people like that, it might be more about sort of not spending as much because they're just travelling around the countryside. You're not spending as much money as someone that's going to be travelling overseas. But it's important to work out, what retirement is for you. I had a couple recently where they both retired on the same day. And the husband's turned up in the kitchen on his first day of retirement. He's got his golf bag sitting there, all ready to go play golf. The wife's wheeled in the suitcase, and she wants to go travelling overseas. They hadn't spoken about what they were going to do in retirement and what their lifestyle was going to be.
And that's important, isn't it? As a couple, talk to each other, and we'll kind of like work out what it is that you want to do in regards to that. But not everybody wants to be travelling around. I mean, you recently met with a member that was, if you want to call it, at the other end of the scale, the modest.
Yep.
It was more through circumstances that he was sitting there, but explain.
Yeah, so this member sort of came to me, and he was honestly in a bit of a panic, and he was a bit worried about retirement. So he was actually on stress leave from work, and he was wanting to retire, but he didn't think that he had enough. So I met him in his lovely home out on the coast there, and he was thinking that he would have to move out of that home, live a real sort of destitute lifestyle. But when I sort of spoke to him about what the age pension provides and how much, or you know, how little that he needs on top of that to meet his lifestyle, he was okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, in summary, being the younger person, talking to your generation,
Yep.
what is it that you would say? A couple of key things to them.
So it's about planning early. It's about the magic of compound interest, so interest on interest, and that will grow your balance. So start to do something or start to think about doing something. Prepare a plan to set yourself up for that long term. Don't leave it too late.
Because to that point, if you're going to stay in the workforce for the entire period of time, most likely you're going to get to that modest lifestyle. But if you want something better, you've got to do something early in regards to it. You and I, at the other end, you know, retirement's more on our minds. But you know, what is it that we say to our members as they start to think about retirement?
As I think about retirement, the age pension can help a lot of people. Probably more myself than yourself, Andy, because I've seen the car that you drive. But the age pension can help a lot of people. Work out how much you're spending, and from there we can work out whether you've got enough in super to supplement the age pension and help you live a fruitful retirement.
So we've hopefully given you something to think about. You may have a question. There's an email address down at the bottom of the screen. If you do have that question, send it to us. Be more than happy in which to answer that. Otherwise, phone our member contact centre or talk to your local coordinators. They're there to share some ideas with you. But if you really want to find out what you need to do, then that's where the financial advice teams come into play. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Andy.
And hopefully we see you next time.